Well, hello and welcome to Old People This Week. The gentleman in front of you with the sparkle in his eye and the grin on his lips, that's me, Jeff, and those two guys over there, Paul and Mike. I'm going to show you a little video of Mike driving around the neighborhood the other day. So how did you get that cow to get on back of that moped with you?
Started training it when it was a yearling. He's 4 years old now.
So
he goes out and starts the bike for me.
So he could freak the neighbors out.
Yeah.
All right, before we get started on the real reason for this whole episode, which is last night's Golden Bachelor, who I call, by the way, the Golden Grifter, did you see that picture I sent you of the Tina Turner statue?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure what it was. I thought it was a Rorschach test when you first looked at the photograph.
The good people of Brownsville, Texas, in order to honor their own Tina Turner, decided to put a statue up, which, fine, you know, what the hell, that's nice of them.
Yeah.
But you know what it is? It's the hair, first of all. Forget the facial expression, but you can't sculpt hair, especially the hair that she had. It just looks like a big block of cement on her head.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do it. It's like those, you look at the old days, you go to a museum and you see all those Roman sculptors. Those guys never put hair on anybody because it's too hard.
No, that's why when we have our sculptures, then the three of us will look fine.
Yeah, we're going to look just fine.
Yeah.
Mike. All right. Okay, last night. Oh, no, first we're going to talk about the Golden Bachelor, but first I want to go back to week one and do a really quick recap so we can bring everybody up to speed, and then we'll talk about what we saw last night.
Yeah.
So it's Mel Owens, University of Michigan. We talked about him before. Lawyer, divorced. I think he's divorced. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there about him and that ex-wife of his.
He claims to be.
Yeah, he claims to be. And he is the bachelor, and then all the first 24 women showed up. They were cute, spunky. They were all there. They know why they're there. They want to fall in love. They want to meet somebody. They're looking to have a second chance in life. I like the hockey player who was Diane, who's from Alaska, a librarian. She was kind of spunky with the short hair and everything. There was Cheryl, who rode up on a motorcycle. And then there was I think her name was Peg, who is a bomb expert, technician.
Yeah.
And
Firefighter.
Yeah, firefighter. And she showed up and tried to set up this fake bomb, and it didn't work and all that. Then they had this lame-o one-on-one date. Mel brought that person, Cheryl, out there, and that was kind of boring. Yeah. And then they had an even lamer group date, which was a cheerleading contest, which did not really work in any sense of the word. You can't just surprise somebody, say, hey, here's some pom-poms, go out there and cheer.
Well, that's a good indication of his mentality, too.
Yeah, he didn't know.
He thought that was a festive occasion.
Yeah, he is as stiff as a board. He moves like Herman Munster. Yeah. But the worst thing about him is I don't feel anything for this guy. I don't care what happens to him. It's not like I want him to fall in love. He's just sort of moving through this thing. I don't think with this Mel Owens, it's about actually meeting someone and get married. I think it's about Mel Owens wanting to get famous by being a Golden Bachelor.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we'll talk about it later when we talk about the last episode, but there are a couple of issues at play.
Yeah. So then, at any rate, after that, they had a pool party and then the rose ceremony at the end of the first episode, in which he got rid of most of the riffraff he didn't want around anyway. Like Diane, the short-haired person, you know, the hockey player. He'd just see you later. And overall, what did you guys think of the first episode?
It was just a little bit too much he fit the mold of what you think to be, but he has zero nada personality.
Good on paper.
I feel like he's filling, I don't know, for me, and again, for watching last night too, I feel he only has a limited vocabulary.
Yeah.
And that he says the same things over and over and over again.
Yeah, he's closed and he's guarded. He's not going to give anything up. He's a lawyer. It's not like Jerry Turner the first year, who was almost crying every episode when he had to give out roses. This guy is stone-faced. So, at any rate, I gave the whole thing a 4 out of 10. It's not thrilling. It's not sexy yet at all, by the way.
No.
Nothing's making me, go, oh man, I want to see this happen.
No,
All
it was
right, so
interesting
last
on
night.
the initial rose ceremony, he sent, to my eye anyway, he sent all the really attractive women home.
Well,
The crew he kept is pretty spotty. I mean,
Yeah, but that's in eye of the beholder. I mean, to me,
Yeah, I agree.
I don't care about that so much. It's just that it's not resonating with me. You want a television show that you will get behind the main character, that you feel empathy for him. You want them. And I'm not getting any of that. So last night, number 2.
Yes.
Okay. Again, I watched the whole thing, and my overall feeling is he's shallow. You're not invested in this story. No. And the first thing was that really drove me nuts was this invented roast that they did.
Oh. Yeah.
it was a disaster.
The comedy club. Yeah.
The comedy club. And now you guys may agree or not agree with me, but if you show up there and you're a woman of a certain age and you don't have any background in show business, and somebody just says you got to get out there and perform on camera and you got to do a roast, that's difficult.
Mm-hmm. It's very difficult.
Mm-hmm. Then
The other thing was, and maybe it's just because I'm an old fart, but I never heard of the comedian. I had no idea who he was.
You're not the only one.
Yeah, I never heard of him. But some of the women seemed to. She said, "Oh, I follow his podcast," and she knew who he was, but he didn't add anything to it. And by the way, it doesn't look like he helped the women at all. He didn't help them form jokes or anything. They were just on their own. And consequently, they weren't funny.
And he tells Mel, "Don't marry that one."
She's probably up there going, "I'm going to strangle that mother as soon as this camera goes off."
Once again, I feel like I'm picking on the producers from being on the inside out here, but I gotta say, following around the one who's like left her glasses behind for as long as we did, and going like, I can't see. Yeah. I was going like, okay, we've drained this story. We've drained it, and then it fell flat.
Paul, if you're in the edit bay and you're looking for any storyline that you can play up and pull out and make relevant to the audience, and if that's the best you have, is that one of the contestants can't find their readers. By the way, she kept going to everybody asked to have readers, and everybody said no. Yet one of the other ones was wearing readers while she did her roast. So she probably just hit him and said, "I'm not giving them to her. Too bad for her."
No.
All right. Then he goes out on a date with that Nicole. And Nicole sits there and asks him point blank about his divorce. And he does a hem and haw act that is just like, evade, oh, by the way, she just handed me the papers and then she was gone.
No idea. Yeah.
I had no idea. Well, guess what?
Really?
We're men of a certain age, and we've been around, and we've been with, had relationships, and it's never that simple that you're just sitting there and somebody walks in and puts papers in front of you and walks out. Whatever happened the years before that, something happened.
Yeah, it takes two.
It takes
Come
two.
on. Yeah, it'd be
Like
totally
he's this
brain
innocent lamb. Oh, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Now, so I looked it up, and his ex-wife's name is Fabiana. She's from Brazil. They've been married 20 years, 2 boys. And indeed, she did fall for someone else during COVID. And indeed, she did eventually ask to get out of the marriage. And he said that he was going to be cool with it. The problem is, and the big lie is that was 5 years ago, and they're still fighting. And they're fighting over this home that they own, co-own down in Orange County. $2 million home.
Yep.
Yeah. She's so pissed off at him because evidently he owes money to her for the house because he's supposed to be co-paying the mortgage or whatever. So she went to the court now to ask them to force him to sell so she can get out of this deal.
Yeah.
I'm surprised the producers didn't make him clean that up before the show.
Yeah, evidently it's still not cleaned up. Huh?
They should bring her on.
Oh, you know what? That's good television, Mike. You're thinking like a producer.
That would be a more interesting.
Yeah, for sure. So, at any rate, and then he goes out on a second date with a woman. I think her name is Debbie, and she's the woman who, by the way, I was on the show. She's never been married before.
Right.
He takes her to a fancy restaurant somewhere in Beverly Hills or something with a Michelin star chef,
right,
named Leto or something. And what do they do? They spend 15 minutes making an omelet.
omelet.
An omelet.
What a culinary experience.
But by the way, they didn't eat it, or they sat there and they
No.
faked eat it, because a scene later they're sitting at a table eating steak.
Yeah.
So that was just a big phony setup for something for them to do. They have this Michelin star guy. He's probably still sitting at home going, "What the hell did I do?"
Oh my God, my career's ruined.
Yeah.
No, the funniest thing though about that date was he there's all this big buildup. I'm going to take her on this romantic, I feel a connection, blah blah blah. Yeah. So he drives up in a Ford Bronco, and then drives through L.A. traffic for an hour with her. You know, even a guy in jeans can't step up into a Ford Bronco.
No.
So she's got an evening gown on, and he drives up in this lifted four-wheel drive.
They're trying to make him look normal. He doesn't drive a Ford Bronco at home, probably.
Probably.
He doesn't know what a Bronco is. So, yeah, it was all just phony baloney. And then meanwhile, while they're on the date and the rest of the women are back at the mansion commiserating that they are not out on a date with him, the two women from last year show up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're going to have a pajama party. Yeah. Except this is a pajama party that's so lame, it really is more like a bachelorette party, I guess, which is appropriate. And they're pulling out vibrators.
Yeah. At that point, the show just slid down to the lowest common denominator it could possibly reach.
And Peg, the fire person, bomb expert, she didn't know. She kept that. Yeah, what is this thing?
How do you turn
it's a bomb, Peg. Just diffuse it.
Yeah. The other interesting thing on the two dinner dates, on both of them, well, he would ask them a question, and then while the women were talking, he was eating.
Yeah.
He was looking at his plate and eating while they were talking to him.
He doesn't give a crap about these women. It was so funny. Oh man! And then there was then he comes into the room, and the remainder of the women who didn't get to go out on a date all rush him, and he basically one after another kisses them. Well, there's the one whose name is Cindy, who I kind of like, by the way. She was on her confessional. She said she wasn't going to be last in line because she didn't want to be the last one to kiss him, right? And I sat there and I thought about it for a minute, and I thought, what if the three of us were the bachelors, and it was a Golden Bachelorette show, and we were 3 of 10 guys, and there was a line to kiss. I'm not kissing her after you two fools. I'm not going to stand in the back of the line.
I thought she was going to say, I thought she was going to spit it out exactly like that, because to me, I agree with you, Jeff. She seems like the most normal, like wouldn't be on a show like this, but they somehow got her on that. Yeah. She seems pretty true to herself, I think.
I like her. I think she's pretty cool. And then what else happened after that? Oh, then there's the last, of course, rose ceremony, in which they were down. I think they went from 13 down to at least 4 women went home. By the way, after there was 2 that were saved already, that Debbie and the other one Nicole, because they had roses, and then there was 4 more that they picked that had to go home.
Yeah.
And we're going to do a drinking game next week. I'm going to call you guys while the show is on, because if you watch him, he does this. He's standing there, and the roses are on that little tray. He picks up the rose, and he goes like this. He reaches out with his hand, and he reaches back. He goes like this.
Yeah.
And then he pulls back, and then he says their name. It's like he has to hunch his shoulders to get ready to say their names.
Yeah, it's so robotic. I mean, it's just
moron.
I thought the real telling point is, and excuse me for not remembering her name, but I thought when they cut the scene together, and there was the cold open to the show too last night, when he looks at her and goes, "Oh, you're so beautiful," and then she looks at him and goes, "Oh my gosh, you're good looking too," and then he goes, and she wants to have conversation, but they can't get beyond the complimentary line.
No.
And even the editors had to put in a zoink sound effect, you know what I mean, to go show that it was going belly up.
But there's no there. You're right about that. He's not really listening to them. He doesn't really.
He's not.
This is why we goofed on that Jerry Turner last year incessantly. But in hindsight, he's great next to this guy.
Well, he at least paid attention. Oh, by the way, speaking of Golden Bachelors, did you see that Chalk from last season is now doing television ads? Yeah,
he was doing a television ad for some pacemaker.
Yeah.
He was doing. He's monitoring his pacemaker. He comes out there and he's showing up. He goes, "I'm Chalk. I'm
Chalk."
What an imbecile.
In the
that-
final
that-
final scene, he's asleep.
Yeah.
So maybe that pacemaker didn't work.
Oh, brother.
Crazy.
So afterwards, the Amy went home, Terry went home, the two Monicas went home. And the only reason I bring up Terry is that Terry is the one with the puppet.
Yeah.
And she,
That didn't work at all.
and her puppet were not happy to be leaving. They walked up to him. She gave him like a little kiss on the cheek, and then she just stalked off. They didn't even talk to her afterwards. She was like, "What the hell?"
No.
You
Yeah.
can't go on a show with a puppet, though. He was thinking to himself, "How fast can I get rid of her with that puppet?" Okay. So my two favorites, I've decided, are Peg and Cindy. That's who I'm going to hold to right now. I can change next week. If you guys have favorites, let me know and see who's going to win. But right now I'm putting my handicapping hat on, and I think it's going to be either Peg or Cindy.
Yeah, I like Cindy too. I originally thought Cindy was going to be gone.
All right, me too.
I do too, but
looking.
she's the she's like the lead on the sled here for me. It's like she's really pulling it. I mean, I think
She's really pulling it. We'll see. All right. I got a scoop on next week, too. Peg and Mel have a fairgrounds date. And you know what the fairgrounds is, though, because I watched a little bit of when I was watching when they were teasing it at the end. It's the Santa Monica Pier, fairground.
of course it is.
Santa Monica Pier. And then there's a beach photo shoot that evidently pisses everybody off. And I get
Or
the
he's
impression that
rolling.
like he's making out with somebody who's not even one of the women that's on the show. He's just making out with someone else.
I saw that rolling on the sand like Burt Lancaster.
They were pulling the Burt Lancaster.
Yeah.
And then the ultimate teaser on this one site I read was, is Nicole here for the right reasons? So Nicole, the most aggressive one, the one who jumped in the pool and started making
Right.
out with him, the one who's got that date and everything. Evidently, there's going to be some secret about her that's going to come up. So that's pretty cool.
I kind of like her though. She's just wacky enough. That,
Yeah, she's wacky. Well, at least she's
Some
sexy and
interest.
wacky. Right, you need that on the show.
yeah, she's cute. And
Yeah.
Okay,
she
here's
was
the
brilliant.
headline that says it all. Yes, Gen Z is actually having their moms call their bosses.
Okay.
All right, this 79% of Gen Zers that were in this poll said that they had a parent communicate with their manager, getting involved with time off issues, workplace disagreements, and salary disputes.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Nope.
yeah,
Pack
Yeah.
your stuff, clear your desk out. You're done.
Yeah.
yeah. If somebody
Well-
brought their mother in, I don't know what I would have done. When I was a boss, I would have just went, "What the? Get out of here!
Yeah.
Take you and your mom. Pick up your last check and see you later." And then 77% of full-time Gen Z workers has a parent attend the job interview with them.
What?
No
Yeah.
way. No way. Maybe drive them there, but
Drive 'em
go
there.
into the interview with them.
They come in the room with them, sit down, they say, "Well, what do you mean? What's their experience? What are you talking about?"
He's a good boy.
He's a good boy. He's good around the house.
I was going to say, this is starting to sound like a Tim Allen sketch with a sitcom or something, like and Tim
exactly.
goes with his daughter to pitch. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Not real.
You're right, Paul. It sounds like a skit for a late night show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the guy winds up hiring the mother.
Yeah, okay.
Right. There you go.
That's funny. That's what would happen, right? You kid, you get out of here. Mom, you hang around. I'm going to hire you. All right, and here's the last headline, the other one. And this one, by the way, this takes the headline is nothing that we haven't talked about 1,000 times on this podcast. A mom took her tween's phone and iPad away just as she started middle school. And what happened astounded the mom. Well, no kidding. We know what happened. So the girl the tween who had, got her devices taken away, all of a sudden, like Lazarus rises from the dead and is all of a sudden re-engaged in life and with mom and with the family and the sisters. It's just, you can't. We've been saying on this episode for a year now, on this podcast rather, that you have to take away all devices from these kids until they're 21 or even out of college, whatever comes first. But what got me about this one, and just hear me out for a second. So we'll say that the mom's name who did this, who took away her daughter's devices, let's say her name was Sue. And what happened was a woman named Mary, who was the mother of one of Sue's kids, their kids hang out together, Well, Mary finds out that these girls were part of a chat group. And as she put it, the chat group's conversations were toxic, vulgar, and rude. And really to the point where Mary was worried. And then Mary finds out that the girls on this group found out that Mary, the mom, was meddling around. So they were going to report the mom to Child Protective Services in order to get her out of their face.
Oh, Christ.
I would have killed her. And then that's when Mary said, I need help. And she went to see Sue, the other mom. And Sue said, this is nuts. And she went and took her daughter's devices away. And her daughter, perked up and now normal again.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've told a story before, and I'll tell it once again about my daughter Haley, who was as a preteen. She was staying she was in a room one time because I put her in there for punishment's sake, and and I was in the front of the house, and I don't know, I was watching TV or whatever, and there's a knock on the door. I open it up, it's one of my neighbors, and he goes, you know what, your daughter's hanging out the window yelling, call 911, child abuse. What the hell? So I go back into the room, and sure enough, there's Haley sitting on there, leaning out the window, yelling, child abuse, call 911. I go, Haley, you're just grounded. Calm down. So, anyways.
Oh my goodness! Is it that time already? Oh.
It is, but you have to wait just a minute.
Right.
You're going to have to edit this, Jeff, because I have to go get it.
All right, go get it.
Mary,
With my crack production team.
yeah, Mary.
It's in
Can
the.
you bring
it's
me
in-
my notebook, please?
It's in the dryer.
And have your Mary get it for you.
All right. Now,
There's no
the
Mary
highlight of the
sighting.
show.
Okay.
This might be one of the better issues that we've done from the annals of the dearly departed. Sadly, one that will shatter a lot of our pubescent romantic yearnings, Claudia Cardinal. In the 60s. Whew.
Yeah,
She was a looker.
Oh boy, she was really something.
I got this dog literally putting his face in my crotch here. What are you doing?
Are you wearing pants?
No.
Cut. And then, sadly, a guy named Brett James, who was one of the biggest songwriters in Nashville, he wrote Carrie Underwood's Jesus Take the Wheel.
Yes.
And 57 years old, unfortunately, crashed his airplane in Nashville, killed his wife and his mother-in-law and himself. It's really
He's probably
sad.
just trying to kill his mother-in-law.
I don't know. She looked pretty hot in the pictures, but and then and this one was a little close to home. A good friend of mine is a guy named Jack Knopp, who's a PGA golfer.
What's his name?
Jeff Goff.
He's a friend of yours?
Yeah. Anyway, his girlfriend, 28 years old, died of tachycardia. Macon White.
I read about that. Yeah.
And then one we can rejoice in, Sarah Jane Moore, 95 years old. She was an FBI informant who, by the way, tried to assassinate Gerald Ford. Remember her?
Oh. Huh.
Yeah.
That was a long time. Yeah. My God.
And finally, and this is one that will give us all hope, Maria Barañas Monero died at the age of 117,
Ooh,
which
cats.
made her the oldest living person at the time.
Okay.
She attributed her longevity to the fact that she never drank, she never smoked.
Well, that's boring.
She took long walks every day, religiously adhered to the Mediterranean diet, and ate a cup of yogurt every day.
I have a question, and this brings up when we introduce these anytime in the paper or wherever in the TV, and you say you're the oldest person, anywhere. Who's keeping records? that we know that the oldest person isn't in Africa, isn't in Tibet?
We don't.
I mean,
We don't know. We don't know. There's probably somebody on a goat ranch in Russia.
yeah, exactly. It's like
120.
there's someone who's eating yogurt twice a day and is living to 118. It's like, how do we know who the next person is?
Yeah.
I never got that.
It just makes a good story.
Our Florida man story, even though this dude is not from Florida, he's from Canada of all places. This guy was arrested for allegedly driving under the influence. He doesn't hide it. We use allegedly in this case as a pure legal term because who else would do this?
Yeah.
Under the influence, well, driving a tiny pink Barbie Jeep down a busy highway. Watch the video.
For himself and others, driving the battery-powered toy along the busy roadway. Officers say the driver had a suspended license and failed 2 breathalyzer tests.
Well, a friend needed to go pull up money, so and I was just like, okay. I was like, if he's gonna pull up money, I was like, go for a walk. I'll go for a walk with you. When I was just lazy, but I just like, okay, I'll use the Jeep. I didn't think you can get a DUI on a Barbie truck. Like, it's funny. It's just. I gotta go to court, though.
And the driver was issued a 90-day prohibition. Mandy is due in court in December.
Oh my God.
His name is Casper Lincoln.
Casper.
Casper, K-A-S-P-E-R Lincoln.
Of
Driving
course.
right down the middle of the streets. Cars are beeping. There's almost accidents. And then he's wearing those big, stupid sunglasses. And then
It's Casper with a K. Okay.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in today. Of course, you have to subscribe. If you subscribe, Mike will come by the house on that moped with that big giant cow on the back, and he'll show you how to drive around.
He'll trim
and
your
let you
lawn a
drive
little
around.
bit. Yeah. He'll trim your lawn a little. I'll let him off the bike. He'll eat your lawn.
He'll
and,
trim
then
your
we'll
lawn
go.
and he'll fertilize it for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Full circle service.
Yeah.
Full circle.
Delicious.
And send us an email, the oldpeoplethisweek@gmail.com. We're always here to answer your questions. And if it's dire and if you need an immediate answer or advice, you can call us at 310-800-1830. And Mike, Paul, or I will pick up the phone and we'll talk to you and we'll tell you anything you need to know.
Operators
finally,
are standing by.
Yeah. Check out our Substack at 52test.substack.com. Last week we talked about, I can't remember what we talked about last week, but whatever it was, my traveling woes.
Your travel adventures.
Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness. Traveling. Traveling is a pain in the ass. There's a long story, I won't give it now, about how I got thrown off an airplane once in Ohio, but I will tell it at some point. And that's it. We are going to, of course, it's time for our man Reese with the Old People This Week quote of the week, and that's it. As for the Mike, Paul, and I,
Adios.
adios.
Take care.
Here's the Old People This Week quote of the week. Frank Sinatra saved my life. Once, 4 hoods were beating me up. Frank said, "That's enough, fellas." Shecky Green.
Okay, I'm heading out to happy hour with the wife. You guys have a good evening.
Okay. Take care.
Take care. See you later.